Okay. So, hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Bailey. I work over at Nike. I'm a principal engineer there. What I do is focus on an open source program office there, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that. I probably won't be as exciting as Yuki, but see, more of a brass tacks type of person, and I like to get into the weeds of working on artifacts and guidance for inner source program offices, which I will introduce to you briefly here. So, if you're not familiar with an inner source program office, it's a lot like an open source program office, but it's focused on inner source. And what we do is in a intentional way, organize around building communities and stitching people together and pushing them toward building reusable and high impact software projects and sometimes documentation. There's no boundary there in terms of how you can contribute to an inner source program. And so in this group, what we do is we work together to build the content that will help you drive your inner source program office. Uh, so Russ Rutledge and Guilherme are trusted committers in there. We're all leaders that are pushing forward inner source program offices together. So if you need any help with any of that, then please DM any of us. I'm just signing them up right now for that because I think they'll be happy to help. There's a Slack channel that we join, and I'll show you more about that in a little while. And feel free to stop me at any moment if you have particular questions. I like to do interactive presentations instead of just talking a lot. So next here, what do we do? We build inner source resources together. So you may hear about patterns and practices from Russ or Sebastian if he shows up. There's another book that we kindly adopted called the Managing Inner Source Projects book, which helps you manage inner source projects within your inner source program. They can also be used on the side without an inner source program. There's people that have come in here that just are interested in inner source and have benefited from these materials. So the learning materials, we teach you how to do all those things. The inner source hero helps you mostly. So tools and templates, we build metrics. So there's goals, questions, and metrics. I'll show you a little while that we use to measure the value of inner source. As we know, the industry wants us to show value. And so how do we do that? We attend biweekly meetings. Highly encourage you to join those meetings. It's a good place to learn from other experts in the industry and bring your problems, bring your challenges, and I'll speak to that in a little while here. So how do you get involved? You join the Slack channel, ISPO working group in the Inner Source Commons. And I will show you our calendar in a little while where you can attend a meeting. You just add that to your calendar. And if you have a challenge, you are having difficulty getting people to adopt inner source in your company, then I encourage you to join the ISPO working group and learn how you can get past some of those hurdles. So I'm going to show you a little bit about the ISPO book. So I was working in the past with Yuki on this. We are planning on adding a chapter on the inner source program offices. So this is a good place to jump in directly to start learning about an OSPO and then as an extension, the ISPO. So you can take a look there. And the ISPO working group, this is again an overview. We have a inviting contributing MD here. So if you want to join that, go to that URL. You can learn how you can contribute. So you are going to come in, propose your challenge to the ISPO working group, review some contributions. Maybe you see some contributions you have expertise on or you want to learn more about just by leaning in. And again, participate in the meetings. And we publish content to the Managing Inner Source Projects group book and the Inner Source Patterns. And there's plenty of information on how to attend the meeting and our board, etc. And so there's there's a nice documented page here. If you don't like Markdown, you don't like poking around. And I want to show you a little bit about Russ here. So Russ has another presentation. So if you don't like my presentation, you can go look at Russ's presentation. I really like how he put it together. So there's a particular section where he says no two companies are the same, but not every company is wholly different either. And so if we work together in this community to meet our challenges and to build content for uh, together in an open source fashion, then we all win. We all win in that scenario. And so I want to show you a little bit of the work products that we have here. So we have goals, goals, questions, and metrics. So something we worked on. This is in the Managing InterSource Projects book. Another thing we worked on, you'll see at the bottom here, is there's a integrated comment section. So you sign in with GitHub and you have questions about goals, questions, and metrics. You can jump in there and ask questions directly within the book. So as you're learning, you're going to get messages on that. Everyone in the community will see that. This is super helpful. There's a goals here. So you're trying to find InterSource projects in your company. This is a challenge I had when I came in Nike. I was like, where are the InterSource projects? Where are the projects I should use as a template to start building my first backend service, for example? That right there is high value in terms of understanding where your software is and where the reuse lies within your company. So that goal can be met through metrics. So who uses the InterSource projects? You can count how many times the project is used across the enterprise and other details like where it's used, etc. So then the patterns, this one also speak to this, I hope later, but patterns is where we contribute as well. And some of these key patterns are, for example, InterSource before open source. This is something that we continually see come in our community. So we worked on some of this pattern here, trying to expand the value of it and eventually get it published in the book here on the left-hand nav to be able to get more information. So speaking quickly to, where is it? Trusted committer. This is a pattern we follow as well. We're drinking our own wine here. We are trying to make sure that we are using the patterns themselves as we work as a community in the InterSource Commons. So this is another work product that we contributed to. It's a lot of times people are like, what is my playbook? How do I get from point A to point Z in my InterSource program? This is a good place to come in and see how do I scale InterSource at my company and get an overview. You can interactively click on these, expand details. If you go into some of these nodes, you'll see direct links to patterns, etc., that are applicable to the journey the part of the journey you're in within your InterSource program office. And so this is how you can contribute. You can come to our board here. We have many challenges that we just talk about in this meeting typically, or comes through Slack. Someone says, how do I do this? Or I'm having a challenge of that. Michaela has been focusing on creating an ISPO playbook. It's something
And
that,
I have it pulled up if anybody wants to see it.
yeah, it's more of a micro jump into InterSource. A lot of people get overwhelmed with the amount of information that comes through their company, and I completely empathize with that. We are all information overloaded today in the current age, so that's always welcome. Simplified ways of working, and so the calendar is where you can find details about the next meeting. So today is the 4th. It looks like our next working group meeting is here. So you can just go into this calendar and go to copy my calendar and add yourself to the next meeting. There you go. And then the channel, there are bookmarks in the channel. You can see all the things we just talked about here. So this is a really good place to just jump in and then ask questions. If you are in the channel, I do an at here. I try not to do at channel because I don't like to make people mad. We let everyone know that's online that there's another meeting coming up about 24 hours before the meeting. And it's a great way to just become part of the community itself. It's just to join the meeting, even just listen in, understand a little bit about what's going on in the inner source world. Highly recommend jumping in there. So with that, are there any questions?